Hi, everyone. I wanted to share this with you. This thought came to me this morning about how powerful this tiny little thing is. You might be wondering, what is this? You've seen them. We've all got them. See if I can get it to focus. A little pinpoint, a little thumbtack, whatever it is you want to call it. We see this symbol everywhere now. We see it in our phones. We use it to share. We use it to connect. And how do we use this to share and connect? Well, take, for example, if you're connecting with friends and you don't know where they are, you say, let me drop a pin. We see on our social media things that I like, things that I want to return to, things that are important to me, things that I deeply connect with. And I go, oof, that's good. And I know I'm not always going to feel this good. And I need something to go to when I don't feel good, because we all have that in us. We all want to avoid pain and move towards pleasure. It's part of our programming. It's part of our blueprint. Where can I go? What can I do to feel different, to be different? I want to be more like them. Doesn't seem like they're feeling that or experiencing that. How can I do that? What did they do to get that? And so we'll pin things. We'll be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and we live in this world where that's all that most of us do all day, every day. And thank God we're not getting fired while we're doing that. And we pin things. Maybe we don't have time for it now because we're all time poor. Oh, I don't have time for it now, so I'm going to pin it. I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to return to it later so that I can connect with it, because that was good. Ooh, that was good. I need to remember that. Let me pin it. Boop. Let me use this little thing to keep it right there. It's an identifier, a locator. When you're sharing your location with someone, let me drop a pin. I go out hiking. I love, love, love being outdoors in nature and hiking. And it's so helpful to use these little things in the digital way, where we can just drop a little locator, a pin. We can share it with others. Hey, meet me right here. And they meet you there and you're like, oh my gosh, oh, I love you. Let's go do this. Let's go have so much fun. And you're able to, because they know where you were. And they know where you are because of this little guy, because of this pin, because it's a connection. It brings things together, localizes things to this point. It's like a pinpoint. That's it. It's super tiny. It's tiny and it's sharp. And this can be used in so many other ways as well. Defining moments in our life. Those moments in our life where everything changes because of this. Boop. One tiny little moment in time. And I want you to think about how that's relevant to you in your life. I can remember in the life of my past emotional abuse and neglectful relationships, the ones that were emotionally unavailable, those relationships that I gave my heart and my soul, that I would have and tried to the best of my ability, give everything to make it work, to try to get what I desired to receive. I was giving, 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 kindness, compassion, forgiveness, acceptance, empathy, understanding, love, and not receiving any of it because of the types of people I was giving it to. Now, with this understanding that they didn't have it available to give, they didn't have it for themselves. And if you don't have it for yourself, you can't give it to anyone else. But I didn't understand that then, because that's where I was. Boop. This little pinpoint, this little moment in time. And it's almost like that got pinpointed. That is what I continue to go back to. That's what I connected to, was every time I felt that feeling, that emotion, had that thought, it was like, boop, there you are. Not good enough. All the time, all the energy, all the effort you're putting into trying to get that goes back to that. And these hurt. It doesn't feel good. And it's like you sit there and you just get poked and poked and poked and poked and poked. And it doesn't feel good, and it hurts. And quite frankly, you begin to almost experience that physically. This physical pain of getting poked, of getting pinned. And it's like, what is this? I don't like this. I don't like continuing to come back to that and go back to that. I'm actually trying to get away from that. And when you're in that relationship with a person and they've got theirs and you've got yours, And you're just sitting there and it's like, boop, 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 like a poking war. You're both hurt. It doesn't do either one of you any good. Boop, 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 boop. Let me pin that anger. Let me come back to that. Remember that time? Oh, yeah? Really? If you loved me, boop, why did you? And you're pulling out attack that you pinned years ago. What you're doing when you're doing that is pulling out an emotion, a feeling, usually of pain, of abandonment, of rejection, of betrayal, of rage that's unprocessed because it's still there. If it was processed, it wouldn't be there anymore. And you're pulling it out, and then you're attacking, you're coming towards them with that to try and hurt them and pin that pain, that emotion that you don't want for you or in you onto them so that they feel it, so they understand how you feel and they understand how bad it hurts and they get it. And after they get it, they don't like it and they stop doing it to you because they don't like when you do it back to them, and that's not the way it works. You see, when you just pin all those little things in there, the anger, the rage, ow, that one just poked me. These don't feel good. And that's the way that you live your life when you're living your life with inner unhealed wounds and with emotionally pinned pain and trauma. And it's like, oh, that's a good idea. I can't get rid of it. If I get rid of these, I'll have no more weapons to use against them. And when that's the state that you're in, you've still got these pains, these pins within you. When you do the inner work to heal, to take these out, to remove these from you, you no longer have them to give. Therefore, you're no longer interested. When someone does try and come at you and attack you and boom, pin something that they don't like onto you, it's like, oh, okay. You're no longer interested in pulling yours out and attacking them back. But that's what we do. We use these pins. These pins are defining moments in our life. So I want you to think about a defining moment in your life. One I can vastly remember and always will. There's been several in my life, many. And I know that there have been several, many in yours as well. Was the day to leave. The day that I finally left, after a million times I'm saying, today's the day, it's anymore. And to finally follow it up with action, not just spew a bunch of words out of my mouth. And I hadn't yet pinpointed that that's the very same thing that that person was doing to me. But there was something different. And in that, this pin of rage and anger and hurt and sadness and rejection and betrayal, it's like it all had built up. I finally took that pin out and put it in a different area, in another location, put it in an area of this will never happen again, in an area where I moved it to, I am changing this. And I'm not changing this for you. I have done enough for you. I'm changing this for me in an area where I'm going to stop taking care of you and everything else and finally begin to take care of myself, my daughter. Because when I do that for me, I'm teaching others that it's available for them as well. But I can't do that when my pen is still over here in your problems. Taking it out of someone else's life and moving it into an area in a different location in your life, one of empowerment, one of understanding, awareness of what you've been doing, your own contribution, your actions, your habits, your patterns, your behaviors, where I realize I am going to make a change. I am going to be the one to pin this, to pull this pin out and put it in a different area and location. Because with it being there, I keep going back there. I keep playing that game. I keep feeling that pain and wondering, why do I hurt so bad? Why is my life horrible? Why is my life like this? Why do I feel helpless? Why do I feel like I'm trapped? That I'm like a caged animal, that there's nothing I can do? Why do I feel like I'm just withering away? I'm wasting my life. I'm dying inside. And I realized I had put that pinpoint there. And that pinpoint represented pain, betrayal, heartache, And I had the power to take it out and move it and pin it, put it in a different area, a different location. I had the power to unpin that pin and repin. Move the pin. Re means again. So to pin again. I had pinned it there. One time I thought, well, let's see where this goes, but I can unpin and repin, move the pin into power, move the pin into, I am going to do what I need to do to step into my power. And there's a process in that as well, because that pin goes, I don't know. This is a new location. This is a new area. Are you sure about this? It's scary. It's unknown. And so many times that scary and unknown can keep our pin located there, because at least we know what to expect, even if we don't like it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't feel good. And maybe in that pin, we're financially taken care of. We've got a house, we've got a car, we've got this okay job, or we don't have a job and we don't have to work. Our job is protecting our children. Maybe. I don't know, because I kind of feel like keeping my pin there is doing more harm than good. What am I teaching others? What am I teaching that person? That I'm okay with my pin being here, but I say I'm not? Are your actions aligning with your words? Because I know in my past, mine weren't. I used to throw out the phrase, I'm not taking this anymore. You can't treat me this way. And then I just sat there and I took it. I stayed. I kept my pin there. It was really, really uncomfortable to take my pin out of that, not even realizing what, oh, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take my pin out. I'm ready to move it. I'm done. I need to make a change in my life, but where do I put it? I don't know. It seems like all the other locations are taken. I don't know. I just go back to there. No, can't do that. Where do I put it? And sometimes it's scary to take it out. It's almost like you're taking your pin out with no other place to put it. And that's that space, that void, that unknown. What if it's okay to just know that you're ready to take it out and see where it goes? Maybe you're not going to pin it anywhere just yet. Maybe you realize how important where you pin it is, because it becomes a specific location, a go-to place. Wherever you put this, you know where to go, where to find it. Maybe you're afraid it's going to get lost and you realize, I need this. This is like my power. My pin is my power, because that's the place I go back to. That's the place that I feel, oof, I call home, feels good. I know what to expect. I know where it is. It's there. Every time I need it, it's there. It's mine. And maybe I don't trust that I know where to put it, because I thought that that other place was a really good place to put it. So maybe, just maybe, you don't pin it anywhere yet. You'll know when it's time. And in doing the inner work to heal, those things that have you know, this is the place, this is where I need to be, and pinning it into your power, pinning it into your confidence, pinning it into trusting yourself again, pinning it into belief that wherever you pin it is right for you at that time. There was a point in time where pinning it there was right for you in that time. And I can honestly look back at my past abusive and neglectful relationships, my past emotionally unavailable relationships, and see why I pinned it there. And doing the inner work to heal and truly understand yourself, you begin to realize why you did what you did. When you get to the unconscious beliefs that you had about yourself, you go, that all makes sense. I don't want to take it out of there and pin it into somewhere else. Well, great. Don't. Who says you need to repin immediately? Who says you need to repin it right there? But I want to be powerful, and I want to heal, and I want to move on, and I want to grow, and I want to change. I want to transform. This is what you're talking about, right? Yes. But who says that just because someone else took their pin out and then put their pin in somewhere else immediately right away, that that's the right way for you? How can you know? Doing the inner work to deeply connect with your unconscious beliefs What did you have to believe deeply about yourself to agree with pinning your pin in an area that left you feeling the way that that did, with a person who left you feeling the way that that person felt, with a job that left you being treated the way you were treated? What was it about you in that moment in time where you boop, pushed in, kept in, kept going back to those things that made you feel that way? This is a powerful tool. It's a locator. It's a finder. Wherever this is put in, we know where to locate you. We know where to find you. And we know with that exactly what to expect. And if your life is in this weird phase of, I don't know, I want to get out of this emotionally abusive and traumatic and neglectful, I'm realizing I've got a million pins in areas that I don't want to, it's like, there's too many. Like, it's like a whole box of them, and I'm like trying to take them out, and seems like they're everywhere. It seems like that's going to take forever in school, because these have power. Imagine these were magnetic. Okay. And you pull out the main one. Whatever it is, it's at the very core and the very root. The things that had you put that main one in, and then boop, 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 put all the other ones in around it. If you were to connect with the main one and pull that out and imagine energetically and magnetically, all of the others follow it because they're attracted to it. Those beliefs that make you you, those beliefs that are holding on to the pain, the lack of trust, the lack of confidence, and pulled that one out, and take that one and put it somewhere else after doing the inner work to heal and pin it into confidence, trust, worth, value, knowing you are enough, knowing how incredible you are, knowing how lovable you are, and trusting that. And all the other pins went, do, 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 do. I want some of that. I want to come be with you. I want to be where you are. Looks like you're having a much better time over there. And you began that process of repinning, of transformation, of change, of healing from within. Of course, it's going to seem like it takes a lot longer if you're just kind of doing things one by one. But there's power, and there's magnetism and the energy when you get to the very core and the very root, the very main thing, that deeply rooted pin, that initial core wound, boop, and it's somewhere in the past, because our past shapes our present. Those past core wounds shaped that first pin, that first disappointment, that first letdown, that first feeling that you moved away from, generally somewhere in childhood, where we felt that we were a letdown. We believed we were a disappointment because of the look on our caregivers, on our nurturer's face, because of the feeling, because of the tone and the energy and the shift and the change. And from that pinpointed moment, we worked to try to prove that that wasn't true. Look at me. I'm not a letdown. Look at me. I am good enough. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Like a little child that says, no, 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 don't look at the pain. Yet we feel it. And so we work to try and form and shape and get other people's opinions to change, because we now have this belief that we deserve this pain, that happened to us because something is wrong with us, that boop, let down, hurt, shame, pain, disappointment occurred because we deserved it, because there's something wrong with us, because it's something that we did that deserved that. And that became this pinpointed moment in time when you get to the very core and the very root of that, and you pull that out and you repin it somewhere else, another location. Do the inner work to heal and transform. It's like all those other pins go, I want some of that. I want to be happy. I want to be able to see all of those past painful pins as power now, as the reason why I'm still here. And now because of that, I'm confident in myself. I trust in myself. I learned the lessons from all that. I see what I've been through, and I'm now using it for good. I'm now using it to help and to serve myself and other people without feeling guilty, without feeling like I'm in lack, without feeling like I'm not good enough, without feeling like I'm, I don't know, so, whatever. I now have pinned this into let's do this. And I'm no longer pinned into the pain and pinned into the past trauma story, because I've done the inner work to transform and heal from it. I've gotten to the very core and the very root of it. And I didn't need to take them all out one by one. All I did was get to the very core and the very root of it, transform that one to a different place, pin that into my own personal power, where I still have all those amazing qualities about myself. I still have forgiveness and kindness and compassion and acceptance and love. And I now have those for myself, because I didn't have those for myself when it was pinned over there in that other area. But I have removed that and healed that and transformed those thoughts and beliefs and pinned them into here. And from there, the ones that need to come join this one will, and the ones that don't can stay there. But that's no longer me, because I'm in this area now. And in this area, I don't worry about that other stuff. I'm no longer energetically or magnetically attracted to it, care about it. If the thought comes into my mind, yeah, that's kind of like, that was the old me. This is the real me. This is the new me. This is the transformed me, pinned right here. And if you need to know where I am, here's where to find me. Here's my location. Come join me if you want. I'll be right here, standing in my power, standing in my truth, no longer standing in the lies that I used to believe about myself. That was that old me. I used to be pinned over there. And now doing that powerful transformational inner work to heal repins you, moves you, transforms you. And now anyone else who joins you over there gets to experience that. Because in that new pinned place, you're no longer projecting the old lies, that pain you used to feel and experience. It's been transformed into personal power, now repinned. And everyone gets to enjoy and experience that. And you get to enjoy and experience that new location, that new transformation, that new place for you, where you're not projecting your pain, because you can truly hold a safe, loving, kind, caring, supportive space for yourself. You can for others as well. And you're no longer interested in that old way of you being. And therefore, people like that no longer come into your world. And if by any chance they do, you know easily how to tell them where to go, because you no longer stand for it, because you're no longer pinned there in your own past pain, trauma, and story. It's extremely powerful to go through this experience of repinning yourself and knowing the power of these tiny little pins. We do it all the time. There's a whole platform based on it called Pinterest. Boop, 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 boop. We collect, we cultivate, we create, we save all of these things. And then it's like, if you look at your board where everything is pinned, it's like, okay, I get an idea of this person. Yeah, they're really into this. That's part of them. Maybe they haven't done that yet, but that's something that excites and elates them. And it's like, ooh, maybe that's their wish I could maybe someday list. But everywhere you're pinned, we get an idea, an embodiment of who this person is. So what does your pinned board look like? Are you stuck and pinned in past pain and trauma and old programming and stories from your past? Are you ready to remove those pins and put them on a different board, have a different picture and image of you Not one that looks like that old story where you cry yourself to sleep every night, where you use substances daily to try and numb out and avoid feeling the feelings that you have when you're pinned there. What do you want your new board to look like? What would be on it? What are the things that you've always wanted to do that you never believed were possible for you? Well, other people, yeah, but me, oof. Those things that light you up inside your internal wish list. I wish I could be excited. I wish I had an incredible relationship. I wish, I hope, I want, I dream. What does that look like? And you'll find it so powerful and so easy when you take out that main core, those deeply rooted wounds, one of those initial pins, and you pull that out. Even if all the others don't come with you, you find that everything else you want is on the other side of being repent, of healing and transforming that past pain and trauma, locating it in a place of your own personal power, of coming through that and no longer letting all of those past stories, the pain and shame and guilt and lack, define you and identify you. No longer allow them to make up your vision board, your pinned board. You begin to repin, pin from a place of personal power, from a place of transformation. This new me, this empowered me, this me that believes in me, puts that pin right there. And I love looking at it. I love seeing it. I love experiencing it. I love when things that I pinned on that board manifest, come true, come to life. It's like, woo. I've always wanted an incredibly loving, kind, compassionate relationship. I was never going to get it from that place of pain and those stories that I had about myself of, I don't deserve that. I mean, look at my past relationships. They've all been narcissistic and abusive, and I've just been a codependent caregiver, spineless jellyfish, and people have just walked all over me and taken advantage of me. In that pin, when you remove the very core and the very root of the beliefs you had about yourself, and you heal and transform them, and you put that pin here, now you have friendships, relationships where you're respected mutually, where you feel safe to be free to be you, where you trust. Of course, there's going to be bumps. We're all human. But along those bumps, it's a road to respect. It's okay. We're growing, we're cultivating, we're learning together. But the whole drive, we respect each other. And if you don't respect me, out of the car. Nope. You're not on my pin board anymore. Because I know who I am. And I know what I deserve, and I know what I desire. And I am now pinned here. And from this place, from this location of being pinned, I deserve and call in respect, because I deserve respect. I give it to myself and others, and I no longer stand for anything that makes me feel like it's not that. So are you ready to repin, rewrite your life, rewrite the story of where your pins are located? If you're finding that they're currently located in pain and trauma, neglect, lies that you believe about yourself, damaging, limited, unconscious beliefs that you have, and you're ready to pull those out, remove them, repin them, replace them, I would love, love, love to see you inside of our program, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power. That's exactly what we do in all the areas of your life. Rewriting that story of your life. Being able to see the thoughts that you have and attach and connect with the ones that serve you and others, with supportive thoughts, with loving thoughts, not believing the lies or questioning, I don't know, is that true? I wish it was true. I wish I could believe in myself, but I don't know. I don't know how to. And developing and using the tools in your toolbox to completely transform your mind, reprogram it, get to the core and the root of those beliefs and repin them, remove them, replace them, transform them, put them over here and create a new vision and a new story of your life. rewriting the old story from the past, creating this new powerful present story, and looking into a future that you are so excited to get into in all areas of your life. I'd love to see you inside of our program. You can find out more information in the links in the description below this video when you're ready to remove the pins of pain and put them into place of power. All right, guys, that is it for today. Sending so much love to all of you. I'll see you soon.